Okay, Assalamu alaikum. This is take two of the video recording. So here I'll be first explaining the stack function and stack code. And here we can see that what application had created. I have only written this particular line. So what this particular line does is that it creates an object with using the function create lambda, and create lambda takes in a few parameters which are ID, the handler function, and this is the path. Okay, so this create lambda function is defined right below the class, and here we have defined that ID is a string, handler string, and path is also a string. And in this particular function, I've used lambda dot function. So this lambda dot function actually helps us create a new lambda function for the AWS. And this particular function has many parameters to define, but we have only defined few over here, which are the ID, which I've given it again. No, I have not used this string. I could also use this string as well, so that isn't a problem. And apart from that, I have defined the runtime, which is lambda runtime.node.js. So it is also an attribute of lambda function, library. And apart from that, I have also defined the handler function over here, which is the same as the given in the function, and the path towards that handler function. So this is our stack, and this is our handler function. So here I have just printed onto the console hello some string values, and I've also taken the JSON parse values as well. So here the event is described as any, so it can be of any format. So we know that on AWS it is of JSON format, so I've just passed it particularly of what I had given it as an input. So I had given a name, cohort, and message key pair values over the AWS, and that I will show in a bit. So after that, I have to show the testing of lambda function y console. So here I am at the console. So first, on my first rig, I actually deployed it, and it took too much time. So I've already deployed it. So as you can see that it is the same function as I've shown in my VS code, and in the test event, I have provided it with this particular string of JSON in JSON format. So here we can see that it has name, cohort, and message, and it has a pair value attached to it. Okay, so I think that's explained. So I'll just test the results. So here we can see that it actually prints the whole value, and it also parses the JSON format input and takes the value from it as well. So in order to get this particular test JSON event file, I have given it in my readme.md file in the sprint1 folder. So here I've kept the readmd file in its original structure a bit, and I've explained what it actually does in it after it explains how to compile and run the code. So here I've also explained how an event JSON trigger event should be given, and then also given the string for easier copy and changing this event. So I've also written a note over here that this JSON event can be changed, but similarly the TypeScript file should also be changed accordingly, because the key pair values will not be matched and it might generate some errors. So apart from that, I've explained what this function does, and this is a dummy event on AWS Lambda function, and so on. And I think apart from that, I have to show my lead code profile. So this is my lead code profile. Sorry, it is from the previous recording. So if I go to problems, and if I go into status and solved, so I've solved a couple of problems over here. So valid anagram and two sums is already completed. And apart from that, I've also tried a few other problems. This hard problem is quite hard to do for me to do as well. So I haven't attempted that. So in valid anagram, I think what the video showed was that we actually need two hash tables to complete the problem, but in fact we only need one. So that's what I found when doing my solution. So I think that's about it from my video. Thank you so much for watching. Allah Hafiz.